Welcome to Ctrl Alt Society.
Hmm.
Okay, let's think back maybe just a few years ago. Remember that whole idea, that promise of cutting the cord, ditching that massive $100 cable bill, signing up for Netflix, maybe grabbing Hulu too, and you really thought, yes, this is it. Freedom, choice, saving money. It genuinely felt like breaking free. But fast forward, here we are, 2025, and now you've probably got Netflix, Disney Plus Max, Peacock, Apple TV plus Paramount plus and Prime Video, right? Because, well, that free shipping, it's hard to pass up.
Quickly.
It really does. And suddenly, that freedom, it feels more like juggling 6 different apps, trying to remember, a dozen passwords, and you still end up Googling, where is The Office streaming this month? Because it just seems to vanish.
Right. The frustration factor.
Exactly. You're likely spending about the same as that old cable bill, maybe even more, but now there's this added digital mess. So what gives? Well, welcome back to the bundle again. Okay, let's really unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the great streaming rebundle. We want to figure out why this is happening, like what's really driving it economically, psychologically, and what it means for us, for our entertainment and definitely for our wallets. It just feels like deja vu, doesn't it? This whole situation.
It really does.
I mean, back with cable, you paid one big bill, sure, for maybe 200 channels. But let's be honest, you probably only ever watched, 5 of them?
Beat that.
Right. We thought streaming was the answer. It was supposed to be different, tailored. You pay only for what you actually want. But look at it now. It's like this constant game of musical chairs with your favorite shows. Friends is on Peacock 1 minute, then nope, it's jumped over to Max. Then you hear rumors it might go back to Netflix. Honestly, just trying to track where Friends is feels like, I don't know, maintaining a really demanding long-distance relationship. Who has the energy?
It's work.
It is. I've literally watched friends pull out their phones and Google, where is Seinfeld streaming, before they can even think about watching it. That search bar. And that's become the new TV guide for so many people.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty clear signal things have, shifted back.
And that struggle, the Seinfeld search you mentioned, it really highlights something crucial. It shows just how quickly our preferences as consumers change when convenience gets thrown out the window. That initial idea, the allure of choice, it was so powerful. Building your own little entertainment universe felt great, liberating.
Totally.
But, fundamentally humans. We tend to lean towards simplicity. We crave it. So when that fragmentation means juggling apps, passwords, constant searching, well, that initial excitement, it fades pretty fast.
Yeah, it becomes annoying.
Exactly. It turns into friction, frustration. And that frustration almost inevitably pushes us back towards aggregation, putting things back together. It's really not new. If you look at media history, newspapers consolidating, radio networks forming, even the early days of cable itself, it's a cycle.
Just with fancier apps this time?
Precisely. Dressed in new tech.
Okay, so if we want simplicity, why are these companies pushing us back into bundles? And let's be real, why do the prices keep creeping up? Well, surprise, surprise, the core reason seems to be money. Shocking, I know.
Always follow the money.
Let's talk about churn. That's the word they use in the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when you binge, say, the latest season of Stranger Things and then, boom, cancel Netflix the next day.
Yep, the binge and bolt.
Right. And for these platforms, that churn, it's incredibly expensive. Think about it. Getting a new customer costs way more than just keeping you around.
Much more. Acquisition versus retention.
So they'd much rather keep you hooked, keep you paying month after month with a whole bunch of stuff, than have to spend millions on ads just to lure you back after you've left. It's kind of like a gym membership, isn't it?
That's a great analogy.
You probably don't use every single machine or go to every single class,
Yeah.
but paying for the whole package feels smarter than paying per dumbbell, right?
Mm-hmm. The perceived value.
And if you quit the gym, they have to work to get you back. Offer deals, free smoothies, waive the fee, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Streaming services, same basic idea. They want to keep you locked in with enough variety that leaving feels like too much hassle or like you're losing out on value.
Creating that stickiness.
Yeah, the more friction to leave, the better for them. They want you as a long-term resident in their digital world. And of course, the more they bundle together, the more they can nudge up your average spending. That's the magic metric, ARPU, average revenue per user.
That's the one, ARPU.
We don't talk about ARPU, but our wallets. They definitely feel it when that bigger bundled bill hits.
And building on that gym analogy, if you connect it to the bigger picture, there's this really crucial shift happening. These streaming companies, they're kind of past that initial land grab phase, growth at all costs.
Right. Profitability is king now.
Exactly. Profitability is paramount. So in this subscription world, controlling that customer relationship and, crucially, reducing churn, that's job number one.
Makes sense.
Bundling gives them predictable revenue. Investors love predictable revenue. It also lets them cross-promote like crazy within their own ecosystem. All of this creates inertia. It makes it psychologically harder for you to justify canceling one part of a bigger package. The perceived value of the whole thing feels greater.
Even if you don't use half of it.
Precisely. And it really raises this important question, like what is the actual long-term sustainability of that super fragmented model we had for a bit versus the kind of economic inevitability of things rebundling as companies chase those stable profits.
Yeah, and speaking of economic inevitability, nothing seems more inevitable right now than live sports driving this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Sports is the key.
Because sports, arguably, it's the one type of content people just don't cancel. You might drop Netflix after you finish Squid Game, fine. But are you really dropping NFL Sunday Ticket mid-season during the playoffs? No way.
Not likely. It's appointment viewing.
It's like a cultural anchor for millions. And that's exactly why we're seeing these, frankly, unprecedented moves. Like ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery actually joining forces for a giant sports streaming service.
It's a massive consolidation play.
It really is.
Right.
I mean, imagine if Nike, Adidas, and Puma suddenly said, okay, let's just sell all our sneakers together in one giant store and maybe nowhere else. That's kind of the vibe with sports rights.
Mm-hmm. Pooling that premium content.
And the reason sports is so central to this rebundling push, those rights are outrageously expensive. Billions with a B.
Astronomical cost.
These companies have to spread that cost somehow. Bundling is the obvious way. So it becomes, oh, you signed up because you love The Bachelor. Great. Surprise, here's Monday Night Football too, included in your package.
Right. Use the must-have to sell the rest.
They pull you in with the stuff you feel you can't miss, the truly uncancelable content, and then wrap everything else around it. It's like the foundation stone of the new bundle.
And what's fascinating there is really understanding the immense value of live sports in today's streaming world. Its immediacy is key. You can't really time shift a live game effectively. Spoilers are everywhere.
True. You watch it live or risk hearing the score.
And there's that shared communal viewing experience. Plus, it's pretty resistant to ad skipping. All that makes it uniquely valuable.
The ad angle too. Good point.
So sports becomes this incredible anchor. It's the must-have that justifies the existence and often the higher price tag of these bigger bundles. And the strategic implications when these huge media companies pool those rights. They're consolidating power, creating this incredibly formidable offering. It could really reshape the entire competitive field.
Especially if that live sports stuff becomes exclusive to those big bundles.
Exactly. It shifts from being nice to have to genuinely essential for a lot of households.
Yeah.
That creates a really sticky, high-value reason to subscribe and stay subscribed.
And that stickiness, that push to consolidate, it brings us right to the sort of cultural side effects of all this. Streaming fatigue. It's a real thing, isn't it?
Very real.
You see the jokes everywhere online, people saying paying for all their streaming services is like the new rent or their digital rent.
Mm-hmm. It's become a significant line item.
It's a real monthly cost that adds up fast, and it feels a bit like being nickel and dimed constantly. And then on top of that, you have the password crackdowns.
Yeah.
Netflix kicked it off. Others are jumping on board. Remember when you could share your password with, like, your cousin's roommate's dog walker?
Those were the days.
Not anymore. And these crackdowns, combined with the bundle push, they feel like two sides of the same coin, right?
Absolutely. Complementary strategies.
They lock you in, make it harder to share or leave easily, and then they try to spin the bundle as some kind of deal for you.
Mm-hmm. Control and monetization.
It's just so ironic, though. We wanted freedom, we cut the cord, we were excited to pick and choose, but that freedom, it led straight to fragmentation. And fragmentation, maybe inevitably, has led us right back here, to bundles.
The pendulum swings back.
It really feels like cable again, but maybe worse in some ways. At least with old school cable, you kind of knew Seinfeld was on NBC on Thursdays at 9 or whatever.
You had a schedule. Reliability.
Yeah, and now it's like this endless game of hide and seek with your favorite shows across like 6 different apps, each with its own interface and price tag. It's just frustrating.
And that frustration, that hide and seek you're talking about, it connects directly to something bigger.
Yeah.
Streaming fatigue isn't just about the money. It plugs into these broader issues like information overload and what psychologists sometimes call the paradox of choice.
Ah, too much choice is bad.
It can be paralyzing, yeah. When you're faced with too many options, your brain can actually feel less satisfied. You can freeze up.
Yeah.
So, ironically, a curated bundle might suddenly feel like a relief.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
And yeah, the password crackdowns, the rebundling, definitely complementary strategies. It's all about maximizing revenue and regaining control over who accesses the content and how.
Yeah.
Psychologically, though, being locked into all these subscriptions can make you feel like you're losing control again, which is the complete opposite of that original promise, right? That promise of flexibility.
Absolutely.
So it raises this really interesting question. Are we, as consumers, just going to accept this new version of the bundle? Or is this frustration going to eventually spark something new, maybe different ways to consume content, or even, a weird return to simply linear TV for some people?
So where does this train actually end up? What's next? Well, a couple of predictions seem plausible. First, get ready for the rise of the super bundle.
The aggregator of aggregators.
Yeah. Like imagine Verizon or T-Mobile offering you Netflix, Disney Plus, 8, and Max all rolled into your phone bill.
Your phone company becomes your new cable company.
Exactly. Your cell plan is your cable bill.
Yeah.
That's a huge power shift, right? In terms of who owns that customer relationship.
Definitely. Shifting gatekeepers.
Second prediction, ads. Prepare for ads everywhere.
The return of the ad break.
Cheaper bundles, they're almost certainly going to come with ads, and we'll probably convince ourselves, oh, it's fine, saves me money, until one day we realize, oh, wait, this is just TV again.
Just on demand, mostly.
Right, full circle.
Yeah.
And there's this really interesting global angle, too, that maybe shows us the future.
Oh, yeah.
In places like India, Africa, Latin America, the telcos, the mobile carriers, they already bundle streaming heavily into mobile data plans.
Right. It's standard practice there.
You buy a plan focused on cricket or football, and boom, Disney Plus or local sports access is just included. It's part of the mobile package.
So it's not even a prediction there. It's happening now.
Exactly. It shows a potential path for us here. Entertainment getting deeply baked into our essential digital services. So what does it all really point to? Maybe the real innovation going forward isn't even the content itself. Maybe it's about who owns the bundle.
Who controls the aggregation point.
Yeah. It used to be Comcast or Spectrum in the US. Maybe in the future it's Verizon or Amazon or Apple.
Same game, new referee.
That sums it up pretty well. Same game, new referee. So yeah, turns out we didn't kill the bundle. Not really. We just kind of reinvented it with shinier apps and way more logins. That basic human preference for simplicity, plus those powerful economic forces, they just keep pushing us back toward these bundled packages. Call it cable, call it the ultimate streaming pack, or whatever. The cycle seems pretty hard to break.
It appears so.
So the only real question left for you listening right now is probably this. Are you okay paying cable-level prices again for something that feels an awful lot like cable, just with the extra steps involved? Are we actually better off now than we were? It's debatable.
It really is.
So tell me, how many streaming services are you actually paying for right now? Do you even know the exact count without checking? And would you prefer just one big mega bundle, even if it costs the same as old school cable, just for the simplicity? And maybe most importantly, what's the one show, the one piece of content you absolutely refuse to cancel a service for? That keeps you locked in. For me, it's got to be The Great British Baking Show. Non-negotiable.
Worthy anchor.
What can I say? So thanks for tuning in to this deep dive. Look, if this whole conversation made you pause and maybe check your credit card statement, well, mission accomplished, I guess. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe share this with that one friend who's always asking for your Netflix password, and we'll see you next Tuesday.